Hello. Thank you for joining me today for your new Guardian Ad Litem experience. My name is Irina Melvin, and I will be the training facilitator for your session upcoming. By now you should have received an email that has some paperwork on it, and maybe you're wondering what to do with the paperwork. Well, that's what we're here to discuss. It will take about 10 minutes of your time, so I will go through the paperwork kind of quickly, but you can go back through and look at it, read it, sign it once the presentation is finished. Please bring all the paperwork with you on the first night of class, and we will save ourselves a ton of time by your going ahead and reading it over and signing where you can. So let's get started. If you have your paperwork printed, please have the papers in front of you in the order that they were printed. They were sent to you. The first one looks like this, and yes, all the images are going to be reversed, but you can recognize them hopefully when I hold them up. It's the confidentiality agreement. This is very, very important. That you read it over, that you understand it, and that you keep this in mind throughout your service here with the Guardian Ad Litem. You would sign it and print your name down at the bottom on these two lines and bring it into class with you on the first night. Second one is the authority to release phone numbers and or email addresses. It's pretty self-explanatory. If you would like for us in the Guardian system only to give out your phone number and or email address, please include these items down at the bottom. If you would not like them included, just leave the two blank. The third form is the Guardian Ad Litem Code of Conduct. It is simply signed and dated on the first page, and then the second page is the actual code of conduct. It's how we expect all of our wonderful volunteers to act. And you are all professionals, so I know that you will act accordingly. But there's a front and a back sheet if you would like to take the time to read it over, and then detach it from this sheet and bring in this one sheet on the first day of class. The fourth form is a little more lengthy. This is the Americans for Disabilities Act, and it has our non-discrimination policy attached to it. That's why it's rather lengthy on the end. You keep the other pages other than the first page. The first page has a signature spot on the front, and then it has another spot on the back. Okay, and if you would sign both pages, that would be great. Detach it from the remainder. You keep the remainder. If any of the disability policy that's included in this packet affects you, please be sure and see me and bring me the paperwork that is that would most be to your advantage on the first night of class. Thank you. Okay. The next form is titled at the top, Justice Administrative Commission. It's the Address Identification Confidentiality Request. Now, simply put, this one says that we will not, as the Guardian Program, release your information, your private address, phone numbers, or emails to the public at large. Okay, so you would go through on this left column, go down 7 boxes. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7. Right beside it says Guardian Ad Litem, and that will be checked. Now down below there are some spaces you'd fill in your name, your last four of your social, some other information about you, and then in this shaded box you would sign it and date it. That's all you have to do in the shaded box. You do not need to finish the rest of this box. Okay? So check the 7th one down by guardian ad litem, and then fill in from where it starts your information to the signature line inside the shaded box. And then bring this with you to class. All right. This form is the fingerprinting form. In fact, there are many fingerprinting forms. If you would read all 7 over, you'll see what I mean. The first form, though, is very similar to the second form in the packet. They both have the state of Florida seal up in the left-hand corner, and they both have the Florida guardian ad litem and our Florida's director, Alan Abramowitz, his name at the top. However, the first form is the only form that you need to fill out starting right here, and this is on the name line, and then down to the signature line, the dark line here. This is the only form that you will need to take to the fingerprinting office, which if you don't know anything about fingerprinting, please look for an email coming soon that guides you into where to bring this and how to get your fingerprinting done. Okay? The remainder of the forms will be completed but brought in to our office on the first day of class. So these are 7 forms. We need all, these are 6 other forms. We need all 6 to be brought in to the office on the first day of class and completed, please. Please be honest when you're filling these out. There are some personal questions about your background check, and you won't surprise us with anything, we promise. and then bring those papers in. So just to reiterate, first page goes to the fingerprinting office when you have signed up for your fingerprinting appointment, and the last 6 pages come back to the office to us. Okay. The last 2 forms. Okay, these 2 forms are different from those that I just showed you, mainly because you will not be filling these out, and well, more than likely not be completing these before the first day of class. The reason being is because this is the court observation form, and this is the Keeping Children Safe Act online module form. Both of these things need to be done on your own time, not during the training time. Okay? Now let's talk about the court observation form first. It looks like this, has the state of Florida seal at the top, guardian ad litem logo on the side to the right, and it does say court observation timesheet. Okay? Sort of near the top. This will be where you log down your hours or your minutes, however much you can do in a day, and then have a guardian ad litem staff member or attorney sign off that they saw you in court. It's pretty self-explanatory of when you can go to court and what the parameters are. I would be prepared to stay at least half an hour to 45 minutes in one sitting. You will see many cases, and you will see, you will get a breath of what it is we do. You may not be able to hear very clearly. That's one complaint that we've had over and over again. The microphones are there to pick up the voices for the record, not to necessarily broadcast into the whole court area. So you have this sheet. You'll need to bring it with you every time that you go and observe court. 3.5 hours could be done in one day. I know that sounds extreme, but we like for you to go ahead and, if you can, take off work or from your daily responsibilities and just go ahead and do the 3.5 hours in one sitting. Knock it out. That's pretty typical. But if you need to come back, there are several lines here. Okay, just keep this form with you. When you're all finished with your 3.5 hours, bring in the form to training, whatever the next available training is that night, and then I will sign off that you have finished your court observance. This is mainly to give you an idea of what to expect in court. We do not want our volunteers to go in and not know how, one, to conduct themselves. And again, you're all professionals, so we know you'll act in a wonderful manner during court. But also to know who the players are and where do you stand, and how do you communicate, say, with the other guardian personnel. Observing court helps you to be prepared for these things. The second form is the Keeping Children Safe DAF. It's an online module. There's directions, pretty descriptive directions on how to obtain the module. What I would do is get the module over to my hard drive. If you're using a software such as Windows Media Player, you can rip the actual file over to your hard drive and then come back in different time frames. Say if you can give 10 minutes here or 20 minutes there. But once you've finished with the whole online module, which will be about an hour and 3 minutes of your time, about 63 minutes, then sign off here that you have completed it, and then date it when you did complete it, and then bring this form into court with us. Not to court, excuse me, to class. So those are all your forms, and if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. My email again is irena.melvin@gal.fl.gov, and I'll spell my name. It's IRENAMELVIN. Okay, I'll try to have that at the end of all my emails, and so you can actually access it through there also. And feel free to call me. My work number is 352-548-3816. And anytime you have a question about these, please let me know. Thank you for your attention for the last 12.5 minutes. We look forward to meeting you in class.